what we're going to be doing is what we're calling retail optimized retailer audits. So we're kind of taking what we've been doing and we're kind of stepping it up to the next level. Um, I will also preface this by saying the format in which we're going to be completing these audits and what they're asking for was created by Dell. It's kind of been a fun afternoon trying to break it down and understand exactly what they're trying to get from us and be able to show you guys what exactly they're trying to get out of this. So all I can say is I understand that this is going to be and fully prepared that this is going to be a bit overwhelming. So it's okay. So like take a deep breath. Don't get overwhelmed. We're all kind of on the same page right now. So I walked the DSMs and FSM2s through this a couple hours ago as we were kind of going through and working it out and making sure that we had everything we needed. Um, but what we've done is we've received specific SKUs and specific retailers to audit from Lynette. So we're going to start with those. I think next week we're probably going to branch out a little bit more, go into more retailers, more SKUs, and also go global. I think now that Jamie's involved, while we were on the phone with Jamie last week, we were talking about retailers in the UK, and Australia, in other areas, Brazil, places like that. So we're going to be branching outside of the continental U.S. and North America, and probably reaching into other retailers worldwide. So kind of prepare yourself for that. But I don't know hopefully Google Translate works pretty well with translating the websites for us. So and like I can tell you I only speak English, so it's going to be hard to audit some of these stuff. But I just want to preface again that you know this isn't probably the way that we wanted to do it. I actually sent them a suggestion on how we should do it, and they said, "Great idea, but no, we want it back in this exact format." So we're gonna give them what they want. Okay, so what we're doing is we're gonna be auditing one SKU at a time. If you look in Band, I have posted everything that you'll need for to complete these audits. There is a Google sheet that has all of your assignments. I'm gonna go ahead and start sharing my screen so you guys can see this. So I have posted inside of the inside of Band the assigned SKUs and resources. So there's a link to the Google Doc where you'll see the SKUs that are assigned to you. Each FSM has two SKUs that have been assigned. There's 13 extra SKUs, so we have 13 FSMs that are going to have 3 to do. Sorry, there was no even number. I couldn't make it even for everybody, so a couple of you guys got some extra SKUs. The audit template that you're going to be downloading, and then a keyword list for searching, and you'll see what you'll need that for here in a bit. So step 1 is downloading your retailer optimization audit template and keyword list. Step 2 is opening your optimized audit, and step 3 is going to be looking at which SKU you're assigned. Okay. You're going to want to save an individual file, an individual report for each SKU that you are assigned. So you'll want to go to that retailer optimization audit, save as, change it from FSM audit template to probably your name, and then the SKU number or the name of the product that you're auditing, and then saving. So that way you have a copy for the 2 SKUs for each individual SKU that you're working on. All right, so this is an Excel document. That's the format they wanted it in, so that's what we're doing. All right, so if you look on the optimized audit assignments tab or a Google sheet, at the top there is a link to download the audit template, and there is also a keyword to or a link to download the keywords as well. Change that to say audit. So those are there. So what you'll need to do is look at the assigned FSM name and find your name on the list. All right. It is sorted alphabetically. boom, just like that. So you'll see alphabetically um, which one you're signed to. So if we go to Miss Amber Blanchard here, so the first one that she has is the Jedi 13 2-in-1. SKU number is right here. Your model number is right here. The website is Best Buy US. Retailer Best Buy US. I guess it's kind of duplicated, but whatever. Hide that. And then bestbuy.com. So just to make sure that you go to the right website, all you have to do is click right there and it'll take you to the website. All right. So once she, well, the first thing that you're going to do is just determine whether or not this SKU code is available online, and you'll just select yes or no. If it is available, you'll need to continue on to the audit. If it is not available, then you don't have to do the audit. I went through and audited already Costco and Best Buy Canada and found that only 3 of the 10 SKUs for Costco were available and only 13 of the 19 SKUs or something like that for Canada were available. So I did not go through the 100-something SKUs for Best Buy US. For the most part, these should be available. So we shouldn't run into too many that are no. All right. So what we'll do is once you have that and you know what you're going to do, you're going to open up your retailer audit template and you're going to start filling it out. Okay. So platform, I'm going to split screen this. Hopefully you guys can still see this fairly well. All right. So if we're going to use Amber as the example, split screen here. So platform is Jedi. So we would change this to Jedi. Model number, I would pull from here. Model number would go right here. SKU number, I would then copy and paste over. So this is the SKU number, would go here. And then I would go and open up bestbuy.com and I would search for that SKU number. And I'm going to capture the URL for that direct. When you see PDP, that's product display page. So we're going to capture that and we're going to paste it right here. Everything is here in red is for example, so you're going to want to delete that and change it to black, just like we do on our market performance reviews, and then just paste in here normally. Okay. So the first part of this is pretty easy. When it talks about your header, it's asking or title. It's the main descriptive part of what their product is. So for your Best Buy websites, it's the part that pops up at the very top. So in this case, it would say it would be Dell-Inspiron 13.3, 7000 2-in-1 4K. So I would just copy and paste that right here. When it asks for bullet points, some websites actually do have called out features on the main page. Best Buy does not, so these won't be valid for the Best Buy. But if we were doing like Costco or some other websites, Staples, they will have some call out features that will be usually listed over here on the right hand side. All right, image count. You're going to find how many images are currently attached to that web page, or to that site. So right now there's 16 product images. So you would just type in 16 images, and then how many videos. So there's 6 videos attributed to this one. All right. Now, one thing to call out is they do use some terminology here where it says above or below the fold. Does anybody know what that means?
No. When you load the page, what you see is above the fold?
Correct. So it's an old advertising lingo, kind of lingo. When they talk about above the fold, it refers back to like the newspapers. It would be you would pay more as an advertiser. Sorry, I'm trying to go back to the page I was just at. You would pay more as an advertiser to be above the fold, which is what consumers are going to see first. You'd also want, larger, brighter images, stuff that gets your attention above the fold. Below the fold is going to be anything that you have to scroll down and see. Most websites usually actually still include like a line. So on Best Buy's website, I would say that basically anything that falls below where it says complete your purchase here would be considered below the fold. You'll start seeing, your product overview, specifications from the manufacturer. So all that stuff is here. When you're doing your image counts, you want to make sure that you all not only just count here what's above the fold. So if you want to put 16 images above the fold, 6 videos above the fold, that's fine. But come down here and also look, and what you'll see is a lot of times for like Best Buy's website specifically, they do offer a from the manufacturer section, and this is all Dell provided content. So this is directly from Dell, and it allows us to Dell to put information here. So you can see that we have, a product placement POP. We have 3 additional videos below the fold. Some of these may be product specific. Some of them may just be, for example, Best Buy or Dell Cinema Connect, maybe one of the videos, or Dell Cinema Connect. Jesus, I need a break. Dell Connect, Mobile Connect, and then or like Dell Cinema, maybe one of the videos that are here. So these would be below the fold, and then these are different other pictures as well that are available. I would definitely keep it to the product pictures. Like this one is like Intel Optane. Yes, it's a picture, but it's not a product picture. All right. So these are all actually really good pictures, which is pretty cool. All right. So the first tab I think is the easiest to fill out. You're doing just a really quick audit of the product landing page. So any questions on the first tab so far?
Hey, well, quick question. So like you said, some are not going to have bullet points. Do we just leave it blank, or are we supposed to leave no bullet points available?
Leave it blank.
Okay.
Yeah, Best Buy. It's all the Best Buy SKUs are going to be this way because Best Buy doesn't have call-out features. However, like if you go to Costco, I'm going to show you just as an example. So they actually have them here on the itemized search, but when you go into the page, you'll see here they actually have 5 that are called out. They only asked for the top 3. So we want to list the top 3 and only the top 3. If you think about it, like those are the attention getters of the customer, and we would rank, what is the priority. What we're going to be doing on the last tab, the audit analysis, is we're going to be providing some feedback to them. So one of our feedback could be, right, so we have on this page, there's 5 bullet points, and they have the 23.8-inch touchscreen listed as the 4th bullet point. That's probably a better, more impactful feature that deserves to be either in the 1st or 2nd spot. Not 802.11 wireless AC WAN. Like, who gives a crap about that, right? So that's probably something that should get moved up. So my recommendation, if I was auditing this product, would be to move the 4th bullet point of 23.8-inch touchscreen to either the 1st or 2nd spot. And again, as we talk about like the customer journey and what they're going to look at, if the customer doesn't see something that grabs their attention on the first 1 or 2 bullet points, they may not look at the rest of them, right? So we want to make sure that we put, what's the big attention getter there. And when you think about like when Dell and the account managers send this information over, we don't necessarily have control where they put them in. There's probably somebody at Costco that just puts these in order that they were on a spreadsheet, right? So what they're gonna use this information to do is to go back to the people at Costco or Best Buy and say, hey, we want to make these specific changes to our pages, and we're gonna want to move that bullet point from the 4th spot to the 1st spot, right? So that's something that we can do to be impactful, which is pretty cool. All right. Good question. Any other questions? All right. So page 1, tab 1's pretty simple. Page 2, tab 2 is where you're going to spend a lot of your time, and this is where you're probably going. It's probably the most monotonous thing that you're going to do, but it's what needs to be done. So I'll apologize now. It's kind of mind-numbing, but what this is about is identifying where the product SKU lands inside of a category search or an internal search. So when we say category search, this is using the product or the category trees in a website, right? So I now have the product SKU that I'm looking for. So when I go to bestbuy.com, if I do not use the search bar, but I only start by going to products and then to computers and tablets, and if I know I'm looking for a laptop, so laptop and desktops, and then laptops, what Dell wants to know is where this SKU falls in the ranking of products that come up based off of how it's sorted. So right here, I can't see that yet, so I have to go one step further. So I need to select either all laptops, PC laptops, gaming laptops, or whatever. So what we've called out are the 6 different categories that we should be going into. So for all, I guess I need to change this. So for all, we want to start highest level possible is all laptops. Okay. So we'll click on all laptops. What we'll do is we'll work at all laptops and we'll look at all sorting methods, and then we're going to go to probably PC laptops, since we're going to be doing a Jedi, because that's the one that Amber has. If we're doing a gaming laptop, then we would go to gaming laptop. So we're going to start with all laptops. And you want to make sure that it's in a list view, which by default Best Buy is in a list view. So when we talk about sorting method, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to select laptop here, and when we talk about sorting method, we're just going to start with best selling, and then go to low to high, high to low, customer rating, new arrivals, and then brand A to Z, I don't think is impactful, just because it's just going to list everything alphabetically. So we're going to stick to, kind of the ones that are listed here. So I have best matching, best selling, price low to high, high to low, customer rating, ratings high to low, which is a Costco option, newest, new arrivals for most viewed. So it should fall inside of one of these. So you'll want to exhaust all of them that you can on the web page. So first one is best selling. So I'm going to select best selling on the list, and I'm going to have to count basically and find my SKU. So for Best Buy specifically, the nice thing is they actually give you a count. So there's 24 SKUs per page, and you can use the find feature. They also list their SKU numbers, so you can actually sort by SKU, or not, sorry, search by SKU, or you can search by the product name. So since I actually already have, since I would have captured like the product, the first title, I could actually search by that. So let me pull up the SKU since I didn't copy it. So what I can do is actually take and search each page. So on this page, I hit Control F. It didn't find anything on that page. So I can go down to the next page. So I can actually found it there. It's on the second page. Boom. So I knew, so now I can do is count from here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So 24 plus 17 is what, 30, 42. So what I'll do is do the math right. So now that I know where it lands on the stack, on the ranking of product, I can just put 42. And then I can move on to my next one. So surprisingly, that one took pretty quickly. So price low to high, it's probably going to take a lot longer to get there because you're going to have to go through all these low SKUs. So if you already know the price, you could probably go ahead and skip to another page. Wow, this is some expensive units. So find the page that matches up with that price range, and then just 24 times the number of pages you have, and it'll give you your ranking. All right. So that's, like I said, this is probably where it's going to take the most time because it's a very manual process. If somebody has some other great way of figuring out where it lands in a sort, please share. But right now, I mean, there's 1,000 items on here, so, and 40 something pages to look at. So luckily the Best Buy, even though it has the biggest variety of product, it at least gives you the different pages, and there's 24 items per page, so you can at least kind of do the math, right? So once you do that for every category that's available, then you can, and if you do, here's another thing, quick thing too, if you do the high and the low, if you figure out what the high is, you know that there's 1,027, you can just assume it's the exact opposite for the low, and put that number in. So any questions on that? Because the keyword search is going to be a whole other thing.
Well, I do have a question. It's Anthony here. So in the beginning, you sorted by all computers, and then you went through low to high, high to low. Do we have to go back to the beginning and do another category like PC computing?
Yeah.
Do the same thing? Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yep, so you're going to do first all laptops, and then in this case, you're going to do PC laptops. And that's gonna kind of filter it down. You're going to have less to go through. It goes from 1,000 to 600, but then you're going to do the same thing.
Thank you.
Basically, yeah, it basically filters out all of the non-Windows devices. So the end game is hopefully what they'll do with this information is they will make changes to how the Dell product is listed and called out on the website, and then we'll go back through once those changes are made, and we'll reevaluate doing the same thing and see where the SKU stack ranked after they made those changes.
Okay, well, are we just filling them out until we run out of space?
Yeah, you can add. I mean, it's real easy to add. I mean, if you it's another box. I hate it when it runs right up against the. If you just right click, insert tab, you can add as many spaces as you need to.
So then we
But
would
you should.
do it for like, if let's say we're looking at laptops, we do the laptop, we do PC laptop, and then gaming laptops, and those would be the three that we have to do.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a gaming laptop, only do gaming laptop. If it's not a gaming laptop, then just do PC laptop. You don't need to over, like, you're gonna gaming is gonna bring it down enough that you're not gonna need to do both PC laptop and gaming laptop.
Yeah. But you would still do laptop, obviously.
Yeah, we still always want to do laptop because that's going to get everything. And you think about it, like the idea is if a customer is using this process of finding a laptop, they probably don't really know what they want, right? They're gonna go in and find and either sort by best selling or high to low, and start kind of digging into it there. And they're gonna try to find out. Man, that's a really expensive, freaking $6,500. Jesus. Um, they're going to try to eliminate some options. You know, it's about putting Dell at the top. So I mean, if we go to best selling, um, right now it's an HP and a Lenovo and another Lenovo, and like you don't even see a Dell until you get down, halfway through the page, right? So their goal is to get more of these up to the top. Same thing with like customer ratings. Which is dangerous. So, all right. So, start with categories, then move on to keyword. So, keyword, I provided you guys with a list. So, if we're looking at the Jedi, so that's an Inspiron, right, notebook. So we're going to look at Inspiron. If it's like a clamshell, that would be NB notebook. If it's the 2-in-1 version, we're going to go to here. These are keywords that they search for to pull up this type of notebook or laptop or whatever. These were given to us directly from Dell. So there's a category, which is another, just a very generic way of searching for a device. So it's not going to be brand specific. So if the customer's looking for a touchscreen laptop, then they would just type in touchscreen laptop. So we would go to, we would just copy this, go back to the Dell's website or the Best Buy website, and then just search touchscreen laptop. Wow, we literally just pulled up a single laptop. That was funny. Let's try this one more time. There we go. So again, we have the options of best match, and we'll have the options of low to high, things like that. But we just want to type it in. I think by default it's going to be best match for a keyword search, and we want to leave it that way. So we're going to then go through and count, okay, 1, 2, 3, like try to find our SKU, right? Again, you can use the control F and try to find it. So it found it on the first page, which is pretty good, right? And then you can kind of count back, 1, 2, 3, 4. During your keyword search, the only thing I can caution for you guys is if you see any of them that say sponsored, do not count it. What that means is the manufacturer or retailer, vendor, whoever, has paid Best Buy or paid whoever the dealer or website is. They've paid them an additional sum of money to boost that product whenever keywords are searched. So we don't want to count those because that's a temporary thing. It's not something that's going to be there all the time. So, and we can't control that. So just in case you do see one, it comes, and I actually had one come up on a Best Buy search. It was like a LG Gram or something that was kind of sponsored. So you just want to make sure you do not include it that say sponsored. So you would then put that rank. So what you're going to want to do is enter the keyword that you used, and then, so on this one I used touchscreen laptop. And then what the ranking is, I'm just going to make it up, right? 15. And you're going to go through. So most of these have 4 or 5 categories. Some of them have more. What I'm asking you guys to do is a minimum of 5 category. If they have 5, then just do 5 or 4. That's fine. You want to do all of the category up to 5, and then same thing for branded. All of the branded up to 5, the top 5. I think once you start getting more than that, as you'll see, it gets very, very specific. So, like this is like you have to enter in like Dell and the model number, or Inspiron 14.2-in-1. You know, for me, I feel like a customer knows what they're looking for at that point, so you're gonna get a really high ranking. But if you do just Dell or Dell Inspiron or Inspiron 2-in-1, it's not gonna rank quite as high. It should rank higher the more searches you do. So, we want to. What we want to see is about 10. So we want to make sure we have at least 10 keyword searches. If you want to do more than that, more power to you, but minimum of 10. So if you only have 4 categories, then you want to do 6 of the keywords, all right? So this is, again, where you're probably going to spend a lot of your time, because it's just kind of monotonous. You're literally going through and searching and having to count and all that stuff. So, and provide, where it ranks. Any questions on keywords? All right. Go back to our website here. All right, so competitive visuals. What this is asking for is basically screen clips of if you do an internal search. I would take a screen clip of the products above and below the product we're trying to search for. So in this case, if we were trying to search for so what I would do is take a screen clip of the product that showed up before it and the product, including the product that showed up after it. And I would paste that in here. Just make sure you delete out the old one. That's just an example to help you guys. Up in another, if there's something else that stands out, maybe on a category search, do the same thing on a category search. And you may even label this one, so like this one was, itemized search or a keyword search. Just have that one right there, and then if you wanted to do another one that was category search. We're just going to pretend that one of these is a Dell. Category. On what they're asking for here, if there's any competitive offers or anything that shows up, which I think for the most part Best Buy does a pretty good job, but like right here it shows like people also viewed. So like if there was, like right here, people also viewed HP Spectre. So I'm going to want to take a picture or take a screen clip of that, since those also pulled up. To me, that's, a competitive. And we'll put that there. Same thing. I think at this point it's like more than enough information is better than not enough information. If they don't want it, then they can just disregard it. But I don't think you're going to see too much stuff outside of that. if an ad or something for another desktop pulls up, I think ads are probably tied more to what you've been searching. So I probably wouldn't worry about advertisements that come up. But yeah, all right. If there's a video, there was no competitive video on this one, so I'm just gonna delete that. So, and then on the last tab, this is where you get to make suggestions, right? Do your best to be. I think this is where you guys really your expertise probably will come in the most. As you kind of think about the customer journey and what they see and what's going to stand out and what you know is out there and available. So I think is going to be important, right? So, in the headings, something that you can do, everything is an example, it's in red. So, if you have a suggestion of how to change the heading a little bit to maybe move some of the key features up, or add a key feature that maybe isn't available there, suggest that. On the gallery assets, which is basically anything that's inside of the gallery here, this is where you'll want to know, hey, instead of using, like this is just a Windows operation screen, like to me, if I saw this image, I would probably be like, it's intent mode. To me, that says like consuming entertainment would be better. Like I'd rather have, either a movie, clip running or some type of scenery, something like that, instead of just that. Or maybe it's in, it has like Adobe with the pen being used or something like that, intent mode. I don't know. Things like that may help. I mean, these type of pictures stand out a lot more than just the operating system. So I would definitely want to have more of these type of pictures versus the other. If you want to click on a couple other competitors that have similar devices, like for Best Buy, for example, they're not supposed to have anything but the image of the device on here. Some are getting away with adding text and words. So, for example, like on Costco's website, this is part of the actual image where it says 23.8-inch touchscreen, 12 gigabyte memory, and 1 terabyte hard drive. Like that's actually part of the image itself. It's not the feature. So if you see that another competitor is doing that and getting away with it, then that would be a suggestion that we may need. Like as I mentioned earlier, or in videos, like on videos, this one actually has a Dell Inspiron 13 video, which is good. I've pulled it up on the videos, and there's Dell Cinema only and a generic Dell laptop one. So, a suggestion would maybe, to have a product specific, or maybe there's a CNET review or something that they can link to that will give some more bang for the buck when it comes to, getting a customer to make that buying decision, which is good. The SEO piece, leave blank. Don't enter that in. We've identified a few FSMs that can actually view the scripts and know kind of how to read web page programming, that are going to basically, their next step is taking these and doing some of the SEO marketing and video stuff on the back end. So more to come on that, but bullets, this is what I was talking about, right? So if you have an opportunity to do bullet points, so switching from 3 bullets to 4 bullets, competitors are using 4 bullets and allows placement on base specs in the highly visible areas. So again, this is your time to kind of offer some kind of some type of suggestion. Here's a good one, body marketing copy. So like the overview here, if you look at the description, maybe it's too techy, it's too wordy. Like this to me has a lot of text specs in it and doesn't really give me make me feel like, oh, this is something I want to use. It's just like I'm skipping over this and just looking at the specs personally. So maybe there's something that they can change in the description to make it stand out a little bit more. Throwing out some kind of grab your attention words, things like that. All right. OEM content. So that's kind of what I was talking about. If you look down at the OEM provided content here, so like from the manufacturer, if they don't have stuff like this, I would definitely suggest it. Having the videos, having the imagery that looks like it was made specifically from like Dell marketing. This is actually a really good example. I wish this was up higher on the page, to be honest with you. I think it sells and explains more. Wish this was above the specs and the features up here, like the overview. I don't know how they get this up above the overview, if that's even possible. But I would rather look at this than look at the overview section. So this is much more impactful, in my opinion. So I would love to see something like this in the photo gallery, if possible. Calling out the jacks and things like that. That would be a suggestion. If we can get away with it, that'd be cool. All right. And then any advantages that you can kind of come up with if you're seeing something that either an OEM is doing that gives them an advantage, or something that Dell is doing that gives them an advantage. Make sure that's called out. But Pilot inserting the refresh rate at the top right hand corner of gaming laptops to get approval of their from the Credo team and gain customer attention. So refresh rates is something that was huge, obviously, with gamers, and something that when we were talking about this, he called out that on gaming laptops, they're really looking for that 144 hertz refresh rate. So being able to call that out on some of the gallery images, or even down here, and actually kind of having that 144 hertz real big print, is something that could grab people's attention. So I think this audit analysis, I think, is where you really need to spend some time thinking about, put yourself in the customer's shoes. What are you looking for? What stands out to you? What's going to get your attention and help, kind of push you over the edge into a buying position. So once all that's done, save it. And then, again, you're going to want to rename your file, so please don't save it as FSM audit template. You're going to probably save it with just your name and then the model number that you're auditing. And then you're going to need to save this into either Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive, whatever platform, whatever service whatever you like to use. I use OneDrive because I have a 365 subscription. So once you save it, you're just going to need to share a link. So whenever you get your link saved, you'll just paste that link up here. So Amber would go in, if she decided to save it into Google Drive, she would upload the file, and then get a share link, and then put that link right here. So that way, the next step is the DSMs are going to be going in and reviewing these once that they're completed, and they will mark once they've reviewed them and said, okay, this is complete, or hey, this is missing something. They'll send it back to you and say, hey, can we get some more information on X, Y, or Z? But once it's been DSM reviewed and approved, they'll select. So like Charles will come in here and say that he's reviewed it and it's good to go. And then once that's done, we can then download them all into a central location and provide that folder to Lynette. So questions, comments, concerns? Is anybody jumping out the window?
I'm outraged.
I've tried to make the most sense out of this as I possibly can. So I promise you, when I first saw this, there were parts of it I didn't understand what they were looking for. So I really had to kind of figure it out. So I don't know that I have all the right answers, but I can probably get you close if you have questions.
Expect my notice tomorrow.
Yeah, sorry guys.
I will be sending that over to Brett and CCing you.
All right. There's a new FSM2 position available apparently in California, so we'll be doing interviews next week.
As per HR, you cannot deny sick time.
Still has to get done, man. So it'll be here waiting for you whenever you get back.
Lovely, as long as it has a bow on it. No, it's actually not too bad. I kind of went through it and started playing with it a little bit. It's a lot easier once you kind of start doing it. But I think you explained it really well. But as always, me and Brett and obviously Charles and Joe, when he's back, will be available to help the other FSMs out if they have questions.
Yeah. So this is what we'll do today. So we'll do tomorrow. We're gonna kind of gauge and see where we're at. I don't want people to feel like they have to rush. Like most people only have 2. A couple of people got 3. So I don't want you guys to feel like you have to rush. Take your time. Make sure everything is correct. It's as correct as possible, right? And then give the DSM some time to review, because the DSMs have to complete these as well. So they have audits they have to do as well. So they'll work with you guys on if there's any missing information or you aren't able to find it. Let them know. But like I said, I think you're probably going to spend the most time looking at search rankings and going through it. It's monotonous. I'm sorry. I don't know of a better way to do it. We using the Control F to find and using counting up the page numbers has been the easiest way I've found to do it. Hat tip to Bill Dykeman for that one. I just don't know of any other way of doing it.
There might be a software that actually can do that. I can find out, but I know there's probably.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a website somewhere that you can go in and it'll tell you how everything is ranked.
There is, but it's not going to be free.
Yeah. So, well, I can tell you. Dell's already paying for you guys, so I don't think they're going to want to go pay for software. You guys are like the audit farm. You go get your little straw hats and your little piece of wheat to stick out your mouth and your cob pipe. You guys are a bunch of little audit farmers now. But yeah, I think once we get through this initial batch, I think it'll be easier. We're gonna start. I gotta get a list from Lynette on other retailers they want us to do this for, and what SKUs they want us to do it for. So that way we can be very specific. We'll kind of go from there. But this is the first round. So.
And how much time do we have to complete all this stuff today and tomorrow, or what?
You got 2 hours tonight. Yeah, I mean you got 2 hours worth of auditing tonight. You got 2 hours worth of auditing tomorrow. So I would say start on your first one and see where you end up tonight, and then work on it in your spare time tomorrow. As you guys have some time tomorrow, I know you guys are wrapping up because you're doing your other projects as well. How'd that go, by the way? Your first 10-minute presentation.
I think we did good, so kind of having all of this set up, so just have to do some finish up here and there with Charles since he was away from me.
Okay.
Will, do you by chance have the link to the NVIDIA information sheet?
We are waiting for the PDF to come back. So cool. We requested it. He responded back, yeah, sounds great, I'll get it to you. But I haven't seen it yet. So, I don't have it yet. As soon as I have it, I'll forward it out to you guys so you can use it tomorrow. Hoping we get it tomorrow morning.
I think I have the video. I have the video, but it's going to take a while to render and to upload.
Okay. Yeah, so I asked Percy, which, by the way, thank you very much, Percy, for doing that. Percy was recording a lot of the breakouts and presentation stuff. So he's rendering all that, and so we can go back through and watch it, which is pretty cool, and use it. We do a lot of proof of execution stuff for the clients, though, because Intel funds these NTMs as well as NVIDIA put money into it. So we have to prove that we did it, right? So usually during NTM, we have somebody with a camera recording and taking pictures. So for this one, we didn't have that. So we reached out to Percy, and I knew he had the equipment to do it. And Percy, if you want to throw some Easter eggs in there with some dragons and fires and flames going, whatever. I don't care. But we definitely we'll need that for just to show that we did the virtual NTM. And I can't say enough, guys. I appreciate your engagement the last 3 days. I know it was a lot. Hopefully you guys had some fun. I know, like, mentally, and like, I'm exhausted. I don't know if you guys can hear it in my voice. I'm exhausted from the last 3 days of running around. My daughter came in here. She's like, "This is what you do for work? You're literally playing a video game." Yeah, I was, but I was having fun. They thought I was crazy in here with my hooping and hollering and laughing and all that noise. But I do appreciate all of you guys and your engagement and interaction. And I know it wasn't the real thing, and we'll get to do the real thing here later. But I think we made the best of the situation and what we had, and I appreciate you guys, being there for me and representing the West. So thank you very much. All right. On that, if you guys don't have any more questions, get to working on your first audit. If you would like, I'm going to be having an adult beverage here in about 2 hours. I'll throw up the Zoom will be open, and feel free to join us for some social distancing. We have a lot of fun. For those that haven't joined us, I think you're missing out. It's been a lot of fun. We don't talk about work. We don't talk about the coronavirus crap. We just get to know each other. We laugh. We have some fun, and it's a really good time. So a lot of you guys have joined so far, and some of you have joined every single time, and some have popped in a couple times. So we have fun. I'll be here if you want to hang out and get to know me a little bit better. Would really appreciate it and enjoy your company. So I will be back on this Zoom bridge here at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. my time if you want to join. All right?
Y'all should join. It's fun. You mostly make fun of Grant and his use of wanting to get a tiger.
I wasn't going to call him out, but yeah, we do make fun of Grant.
A lot of make fun of Grant. Trees on. She's great. She's a ton of fun. And we discuss soundtracks and music, so we will judge your music taste, so be prepared for that.
Yeah, we have fun. So we have special guests that pop in too. Mike Finelli's dropped in. Trudy from the EDU team has been joining us on a regular basis. We also had Stephanie jump in last week as well and join. So you never know who's going to show up. So would love for you guys to jump in and just have fun and get just socialize is all it's about. All right. Cool. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Let me know if you have, or let your DSMs know and your FSMCs know if you have any questions. And if they can't figure it out, then I will be here to help them, okay? Let me know if you need anything.
Have a good one. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you, Will.
Thanks, guys and gals.